Good morning to all. So, this is our second video about the topic is stress and strain. Okay, the last class we are discuss about the definition of the stress and then type of the stress. Okay, then strain and the problem related to the stress and the strain. Then next topic is elasticity, elastic limit. Another one is Hooke's law. Then other topic, Young modulus or modulus of elasticity. Okay, today we have to discuss the topic the stress and the strain curve. Okay, you can see in the x-axis there is a strain and the y-axis is a stress. Okay, so normal condition. Okay, in an elastic limit, the stress is proportional to the strain that you are studied in the Hooke's law. Okay, the stress is proportional to the strain. So you can see that when the stress is increasing, the strain also will be increased. That is the according to the Hooke's law. Okay, so here you can see that there is a 5 point you are here marked is there. One is the A is the proportional limit, and B is the elastic limit or yield point, and C is another point, and D and then E. Okay, so the region 0 to O, sorry, O to A, the point you can see is the originate to the point A. The curve is linear, hence Hooke's law is obeyed in this region. So when the load you are applying, the 0 to A point, the line is a linear. So the Hooke's law is applicable here. In the region from A to B, the stress and strain are not proportional. However, if we remove the load, the body return to its original dimension. But you can see here A to B, it is not a linear. But in this region, when you are applying when you're removing the forces, it is returned to the original position. That you can see that from the stress and strain is not proportional, but the if you remove the load, body returns it is original dimension. So when your body or when your length of the body is 100 meter, so when you're applying the force, it will be become 102 meter. So when you're removing the force, it will be automatically come to the 100 meter. So that is the region is A to B. So the point B in the curve is known as yield point or elastic limit. So the point B is a very important point, is known as a elastic limit or yield point. So what is the yield point or elastic limit? It is the point at which there is a marked increase in elongation without increasing the load. So you can see that from the B, you can see there is a stress is very low. We are applying the stress is very low value, but the strain is very gradually is increasing. Okay, the strain means if the length of the metal or it is increasing very gradually, okay, rapidly increasing. So that is known as after the point B. So the before the elastic limit means before the point B, the stress is proportional to strain. Okay, after the B, the when the small stress we are applying, what will happen? The strain value is increasing very fastly or rapidly. Okay, once the load increased further, the stress starting exceeding the yield point. So when the load you are increasing and the stress is exceeding the yield strength, this means that strain is increases rapidly even for a small change in the stress. So when the small change in the stress, the strain is increasing very rapidly. You can see the graph. Okay, this is shown in the region from B to D. So graph from B to D, you can see the increasing the strain value very rapidly after the elastic limit. Okay, if the load is removed at, so when you're considering the point C, when you are the point C, you are removing the load at point C. Between the point C is between B and D, the body does not regain its original dimension. Hence, even when it is stress is zero, the strain not zero, that deformation is called plastic deformation. So it is a simply, so when your आपका साथ एक metal is there, its the length is 100 meter. Okay, so when you the stress you are applied, when the force you are applied above the elastic limit. Okay, so when your elastic limit, when you're applying the force, the 100-meter metal will be become a 105 meter. Okay, these are above the elastic limit. So if you are removing the force, normally it comes to the 100 meter, the original length. But in the after the force you are applied above the elastic limit, the length will not come to the original portion 100 meter. It will remain in the 105 meter. Okay, that is a plastic deformation. It is known as plastic deformation. So plastic is there, not elastic. So when the 105 meter it is reached the 105 meter, it will remain in the same 105 meter. So the 5 meter elongation will be there if we are removing the force on the body. Further, the point D is the ultimate tensile strength of the material. So you can see that there is a D and E point. So what is the D? You can see that the D is the point ultimate tensile strength of the material. Hence, if any additional strain is produced beyond this point, the fracture can be occur. So if any additional, when your strain is greater than the D, what will happen? It will be fracture will be occur. Okay, it will be damaged. The ultimate strength fracture point are close each other, so material will be brittle. So when the D and the ultimate strength and fracture point is very near, it will become the brittle. Okay, the D and E point is very near. If the some material, the different material are different strain and stress curve. If the material have D and point is very near, what will happen? It will be brittle. The ultimate strength fracture point far apart, the material will be ductile. So if the D and point, fracture point and ultimate strength point are very far from each other, so it will be, you can see that, ductile. So other one is it will brittle. If it is near, it will become brittle. Okay, other one is it will be ductile. Okay. So next two topic is the ultimate stress and working stress. Okay, it is another two factor you have to study, ultimate stress. So before ultimate stress, there is a ultimate load or breaking load is there. Okay, ultimate load or breaking load. The word you can explain easily that word is from the word it is a clear. Ultimate load means the load at which a material develops failure. So when you're applying a load on a body, when a particular load, the material develops failure. So it will be fracture or ductile will happen. That is known as the ultimate load or breaking load. So ultimate stress or breaking stress, what is that? The stress produced in a material at ultimate. So when you're applying the ultimate load, one stress is produced internally. So okay, that when you're applying the ultimate load, that one stress is produced from the body, that is known as the ultimate stress or breaking stress. So ultimate stress is also you can calculate the ultimate load divided by area of cross section. That is the equation, mathematical equation for the finding ultimate stress. Okay. Then next one is the working load or safe load. So what is the working load? The load which is considered safe for a material. So when your material is there, you can apply any load. That is a safe. Okay. You can apply the body is there. You can apply 100 kilogram. Okay. So that is a safe load. Okay. Not a ultimate or breaking load. It's a safe load. Okay. That is a working load or safe load means the load which is considered safe for a material. And other term is working stress or safe stress. It means that the stress produced in a material at a working load. So when the working load you are applying, the body or material will be produce internal force that is known as a stress. That is a working stress. So safe stress or working stress you can calculate it by safe load divided by area of cross sectional area. Okay, area of original cross section. So safe stress is calculated is equal to safe load divided by area of original cross section. The next topic is the factor of safety. So what is the factor of safety? So it is a ratio of ultimate stress to the working stress. So factor of safety is equal to ultimate stress divided by working stress. So ultimate, you know that ultimate stress is higher than the working stress. So it will be the factor of safety, it will be more than one. It will be 2, 3, 4 like that. It depends on the material. So factor of safety is equal to ultimate stress divided by work. It's an important definition. Or is equal to factor of safety is equal to ultimate load divided by working load. Both are the both equation you can use. One is ultimate stress divided by working stress, or ultimate load by working load, and the value will be more than 1. Okay. So another term is the modulus of rigidity. It is denoted by the capital letter N. It is ratio of shear stress to the shear strain. So you already studied the shear stress, shear strain like that. So modulus of rigidity is equal to shear stress divided by shear strain. It's an important relation. Modulus of rigidity is equal to shear stress divided by shear strain. Normally stress by strain, it is known as a Hooke's, is a constant, is a Young modulus, stress by strain. Okay, but here shear stress divided by shear strain is known as a modulus of rigidity. Then next term is Poisson ratio. It is denoted by 1 by m. It is known as the ratio of lateral strain to the linear strain. So it is also a relation between the ratio of strain and stress strain, and it is a lateral strain to the linear strain. Both are the strain. Poisson ratio is 1 by m. Lateral strain divided by linear strain. Both are strain. So it is not a unit. Poisson ratio have no unit will be there, is the strain. Okay, lateral strain divided by linear strain. The value normally it is a 3 to 4. The value of the Poisson ratio normally it is 3 to 4. Okay, 3 and 4 or 3 to 4. Another term is a bulk modulus. It is a letter, it is denoted by K. Okay. When a body is subjected to a 3 mutually perpendicular force of the same intensity, so the ratio of the volumetric stress to volumetric strain is called a bulk modulus. So it is also a relation stress by strain, but it is a volume. Volume means when you are considering the 3-dimensional object, so it is a 3 mutually perpendicular force we are applying on a material, on a body. It's same intensity. So 3 forces are same intensity. The ratio of volumetric stress divided by volumetric strain, it is known as bulk modulus. Okay, we are discussed there. Modulus of rigidity is shear stress divided by shear strain. Poisson ratio is lateral strain divided by linear strain. Lateral divided by linear. And then next one is bulk modulus is equal to volumetric stress divided by volumetric strain. So is an one equation is there, is not much important, but you have to just understand. E is equal to 2n into 1 plus 1 by m, or equal to 3k into 1 minus 2 by m. So E is equal to Young modulus of elasticity, N is equal to modulus of rigidity, and then 1 by m is equal to Poisson ratio. Okay, K is equal to bulk modulus. Is an relation between including the Young modulus, modulus of rigidity, bulk modulus, Poisson ratio. Okay, E is equal to 2n into 1 plus 1 by m is equal to 3k into 1 minus 2 by m. Okay, this is a topic in the stress and the strain topic. Okay, so once again I will repeat the all the term. One is stress, and there is a stress is there. Stress is equal to force per area. 3 type of stress is there: tensile stress, compressive stress, shear stress, and then next one is strain is there. Strain is equal to changing length divided by original length. That is a strain. There is a no unit is there. Two problem we are discussed. Then what is the elasticity? What is the elastic limit is there? What is the elasticity? What is the elastic limit? Then Hooke's law is stress is proportional to strain, or stress divided by strain is a constant. That is constant is known as Young modulus or modulus of elasticity. Then stress and strain curve is there. So it is a proportionally limit will be there, elastic limit will be there, plastic behavior will be there, fracture point will be there, ultimate strength will be there. Then you are discussed the elastic limit or yield point, like we are discussed. And then the ultimate load, ultimate stress, working load, working stress. Okay, the factor of safety is normally more than, it will be more than 1. Then bulk modulus of rigidity, Poisson ratio, bulk modulus. Okay, then one equation is there. So you have one assignment will be there. The 5 question will be there. You have to write in a A4 paper, and you have to submit when you are coming to the class. Okay, there is a 5 question is there. Okay, 3 theoretic question, 1 2 problem is there. Problem is very easy. You can use the equation we are discussed in the PPT. Okay, Thank you.